All right, hello, hello, hello. Greetings and salutations. Tis another wonderful session of D&D. And yeah, greetings, salutations, and hello. All right. Well, that's a perfect segue into recap.
Um, oh, we don't have the door thing. The first door that we encountered was the one that Zed had opened, and waiting inside was Marn. And Zed. I forget all of the fine details of what happened, but it was pretty much Marn being like, "You give me what I want," and Zed being like, "No."
Zed saying, "Come get it, then, you little whiny bitch."
And then the next door Veldrin opened, and it opened out into space, and he encountered Uthagaroth again and learned about the Eternal Feast and met a construct that appeared very robot-like named Franklin. And the party was like, "Hey, Veldrin's been gone a long time. How are we getting him back?" And Hozik cast Dispel Magic, and Veldrin was in the middle of the room because it was like an illusion of the cosmic sea. And so it was very large, it was larger than the room was. And then we went to the next room, and it was the town Veldrin and Neovara grew up in. And Veldrin looked around a bit, went to the library, didn't find anything, then went home. And when he went to look at his mother's room, there was a door that led down into, or a secret passage that led down into the depths of the house. and there's a skeleton sitting on a throne, and one of the sisters taunting him in the darkness. And Neovara was hiding as she had tagged along. And we left off with the sister launching herself at Veldrin. Because he dared her to try him. So. Anything else? Or is that pretty much it?
Unless there's anything else anybody can think of.
I know I casted a guiding bolt to hit clap her ass. Other than that, oh yeah, we've not had a single thing with Opal. Opal
Yeah.
has never had a room.
Next one.
Guiding bolt. Alrighty. So, the last thing we left off on was Neovara preparing to cast the guiding bolt. I'm not sure if you had already used the spell slot. I mean, it looks like it got casted. We just didn't do the attack roll. It looks like the spell slot got consumed. So let's start off with that.
Sorry, I did not hear that at all.
I was saying the last thing we did was you using guiding bolt, but we
Oh,
didn't have
yeah.
you
And
roll it.
Veldrin had cast daylight in the room, so everything is lit up.
Okay.
I think that probably ideally hits.
Yep.
Mid damage.
Give or take. So from the shadows, you cast a guiding bolt.
Yep.
And it slams into her. Da-da-da. Yep. All right. So that does not seem to deter her, but instead of doing like a big initiative thing, since it's only three of us, we'll just have you two go and then she'll go. Since you were kind of preparing, you were posturing anyway.
So I obviously popped cover when I cast that. I take out my knife and I run forward to join Veldrin.
By the way, Cubed. Which sister is it?
Did I misread? Because this would be the one that was Neovara was swapped with.
Okay, so it's that one.
Alright, you crazy bitch. I've been waiting to get rid of some of this anger. I know you're probably not real, but like, ooh. It'll still feel just as good.
Yeah, because I saw the 2 names on there, but I wasn't sure
Yeah,
which
those
of
are
those he sent me were which sister.
those are the
Older
Drow
two.
sisters that grew up under Mother, not.
We didn't. I don't think we named the other one because I think we said that that was. Did you want us to name her? Because like we can.
Yeah, we were gonna leave it to you because her backstory is entirely your creation.
Yeah, I mean the name. I mean, you can give me the name because that's what I thought. I was like, are one of these 2 supposed to be the name? Maybe.
Oh,
No,
Hmm.
no,
if she's
Amara
keeping
and
Okay. Okay.
the name that I had said for her way earlier was this.
no, Amara and Nelir are the sisters that grew up in House Mightfall.
Okay.
I said that her name was Svora. We can change that. Because that is difficult to pronounce.
So you made the most difficult to pronounce name. Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Off the Fury, actually.
I know.
But
Actually, if
I
you want
can
to
say
DM
that
it to me.
Niamh was bullshitting. Say
So
that Niamh was bullshitting.
yeah,
Neomar
for
was
her backstory
bullshitty.
stuff, I have all that. It was just the name because I got sent names. I was like, are those one of these supposed to be? Hmm.
Nope, those are the sisters that like Veldrin knows.
The Veldrins, just okay.
Yes.
I got it.
Funny that Svora has the 2 R's.
Yep. It's from Svorowai.
Okay. We have it logged. Logged in notes. Alrighty. So, what's Veldrin doing?
You know what? He should have got the manacles back from Zed.
And mind you, the quote unquote throne room is very much illuminated by daylight, but
Yes.
doesn't
But
really seem to change the environment per se.
what's it take to grapple someone?
So in old editions, it used to be first you have to land an attack, and then it gets to be a opposed check, opposed
Mhm.
skill. But I think now it's really just an opposed skill because there's so many
Okay.
monsters that are just like they just hit you and it automatically initiates a grapple, as opposed to it being like initiate a grapple check. They kind of treat it as like grapples is interestingly enough, they treat grapples as more offense than defense because it's like if you want to grapple somebody, then typically you use athletics, and if you want to break free of a grapple, then it's athletics or acrobatics.
Mhm. Well, let's do that athletics roll, see what I got. Ugh.
So Vora charges at you, and you basically just try and grapple her, and you succeed. And you like how are you grabbing her? Just like trying to get her in a bear hug? Are you trying to like
Yeah, he's trying to make it so that she can't do anything.
okay. Yeah. it is surprisingly easy to grapple this person. Almost uncannily so. Almost like she may have wanted you to. And Neavara, since you're at a distance, like behind this, you see the charge, you see the grapple, and you see, because you've made yourself visible, um, you see, I'll just call her Vora. Um, the S, S is Z or silent, I don't know.
Go for it. It's her name.
Yeah.
Changeling names are like one syllable usually. She locked it down.
But then it sounds a lot like something else. So Svora.
Or
Just say like Sora.
Sora. Yeah, we'll go with that. The S, so the Z, the V are silent instead of the S and the Z. Okay, got it. Sister looks at Neavara with a wicked smirk on her face. And as Veldrin, has her in a bear hug, you see her pull, like, just kind of, you realize that her arms are a lot more free than you would think. And as such, you notice that she pulls 2 daggers and goes to, since they're already in a bit of a grapple, she's just using the fact that, they're in this close proximity to do a little backstabby. So Veldrin, feel
Veldrin, like,
free.
I got my hand bit off in the last room.
You can give me a wisdom save. I just have your token selected. But so you take. Ooh, belchy. So out of nowhere, you feel just a sharp pain, kind of sort of in your mind, a real rough and painful headache just racks your brain as you take 8 points of psychic damage. And for Neavara, since you're able to see what Veldrin can't, those daggers sink in, and there's definitely some kind of harm. You don't see any open wounds per se, but there's probably a physical reaction to it.
Oh,
Which
you bitch.
brings us back up to Neavara. It'll be Neavara, Veldrin, then Sora.
Uh, well, I think sort of seeing this, right? Like, oh yeah, she totally wants to be in the grapple. Blah, blah, blah. Very good of you. But did she consider that Neavara is powered by incredible amounts of anger and hatred?
And God Juice.
And God juice. She has no idea who she's, come across, other than the fact she definitely does.
Hopped up on that God Juice. Hoorah.
And she keeps running up, right? As she runs, she casts Toll the Dead as she like claps her own knives together, like, is this really what you want to be doing, girl? I don't even know you, and it's on sight. Your face looks better on me than it ever did on you.
And let's do it. Yep. Okay. All right. DC 17.
Mhm.
You don't really see it take much effect.
So, is there a bell?
I mean, you still do the bell thing. Like your spell still functions. It just doesn't seem like it
True.
affects her.
Oh, right. You're not real. So how far away was Neavar? Because like she would just keep running all the way up because like her ideal second action is to use her other hand to stab that girl in her shoulder.
Let's
With the bonus
see.
action.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be close enough to be able to do it. I mean, it was a small enough area. And as you say, um, you know, oh, that's right, you're not real. There's a
Yeah.
definite response. But your pain is. And there's a smirk.
And what of it?
And as you ask that question, she just digs the daggers deeper into Veldrin. But that'll be on her turn, because do
I'm
your thing.
trying to remember. It's just a straight dex, right? Or
It
no,
is. It's a normal attack. It's just on the damage you don't add your dexterity or any other stuff to it. Attack as normal. 14 would not hit. You were trying very desperately not to stab Veldrin.
Bell.
I'd say even to the point where she would probably like adjust or like shift her body weight just enough to put, you feel confident that you're gonna hit her, and then she just does like a slight motion, and Veldrin is now in the direct path of your attack, and as such causes you to pull the punch, as it were.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, blah blah. Yeah, lots of pain. We're all used to it. What do you think we are? Like, oh yes, very mysterious. Here's my knife. It's going to hurt. Obviously. What am I? Amateur? What are you? A fool? This has to be fake. Because if it's not, this is embarrassing.
No, it is embarrassing. Why does she care so much?
Exactly. Like, she doesn't know us.
She doesn't. She doesn't know us. She doesn't know how we grew up. She doesn't know what it's like to be a drow. She grew up somewhere else. Why do you care? Why does it matter to you?
Because you took everything. And Veldrin, you can feel the daggers just twist a little bit more.
Took what, girl? We don't even like her.
We took what exactly?
If you want
Why?
mom's love, go get it.
You can have it.
Unfortunately, not until you are removed. Part of the deal. Deal's a deal.
Oh, is that so? Well, that really sucks because I was only like halfway looking forward to killing you. Now I'm really looking forward to killing you.
don't think we should even kill her. I think we should just let her suffer in in knowing that she did not succeed.
Oh, that there we thinking. Proper drow thinking. Do
So
you even know
Veldrin,
what?
Neovara, do you have any rope?
Ah, yes.
Well, let's tie her up and leave her here.
Oh, beautiful. Dig through the backpack.
so what's Veldrin doing? You have her quote
Uh,
unquote grappled.
Yeah, did Neovara get the rope?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it'll be on her
it's in her
turn.
bag.
Okay.
Or he can
Uh,
couldn't he object interact to take it out of her bag?
Yeah, but that's
he
still
would
an
Oh,
have
he's
to
action.
undo
grappling.
yeah. He's gonna keep the grapple.
Do you want to maybe try to get her hands down so that she stops stabbing?
Oh, you wanted me to just stop stabbing?
The
Yeah, it's more
stabbing
my
isn't
thing.
really.
You could
The
have asked
stabbing
so
isn't really.
nicely.
Yeah, I
The
know
worst
he
part.
really does.
The stabbing isn't really doing anything, Neovara. There's something mental going on.
Yeah, it's effect in the dagger, which is why you should probably want her to stop stabbing you. The dagger is likely magical.
I
Or it's the room.
I think it's the room because the last room I had my hand bit off.
Wow.
Still here.
Say, I know you're totally an illusion. Hey, what were the parents that you took from me like?
Ruthless.
Yeah, just like mom, right? So, what was the point of all this bullshit?
Then maybe you can ask her yourself.
I don't plan on it.
I kind of understand what the point of all of this is, and it's stupid.
Do I want to know? Traveler, help me. Guide me on this stupid bullshit path. Bring her down and body slam her or something, Veldrin.
So you can give me another athletics check. Oh, an athletics check from Veldrin, I should say.
Sorry, my sister walked in for a second. Yeah, Veldrin's gonna try and wrestle her to the ground.
So trying to do that. Okay.
Do I have to do athletics or something for that?
Yep.
Athletics.
Athletics.
Get her!
Ah, the knives in the back.
Yeah, blast. Who knew that
You
the knives in your
Ugh.
spine will be so distracting?
Ugh.
You sounded for a heart moment like as Adam Sandler is Dracula. And the knives in the back.
In another world, that could have been Veldrin. So yeah, there's my 3.
I don't see it.
Scroll down a little bit, maybe.
It's not there.
I see it.
Let me try
D20 plus
something.
1.
Ooh, yeah, I'm not loading anymore.
That would be why.
Oh, I've lost connection.
and that would explain it.
I'm gonna
But with a
reload.
3, you definitely don't really maintain the grapple. And she withdraws the daggers and basically turns her back to you as she starts walking away.
Were we not good enough fun?
I think we were a
Did-
little too mean to her. I think we hurt her feelings.
Simply testing the waters. See you next time, sweeties.
I did say try
Ew!
me. I think you're going to have to try a lot harder.
Again, like, actually, here's my thing. I know, again, you're fake, so any information you say is irrelevant. What's, the changeling biomother's name? So I know what to curse when I next do morning prayer.
She just looks over her shoulder and just like does this knowing smile. Well, you're the skilled assassin. I'm just a fumbling fool. You'll figure it out.
You're a
And
fumbling
her
fool because you're not doing anything about it.
she like holds a kind of like over the shoulder, like as she's looking over her shoulder, and she just holds a hand up with a thumbs up. And you're so right, dear. You always have been. Ta.
Thank Thanks for confirming.
And it's almost like her form melds into the wall, just like stepping through a doorway kind of thing.
Oh, God, she might not be real. She might have been real. That'd be even funnier.
I think it'd be very funny. She goes home and tells mother.
Oh, mommy, I couldn't do it. Please take our mother from us. We don't want her. You can have both of them. 4 sets of parents. All disappointments.
Really, I think the best part of this will be going home to find my things and telling
Mhm.
mother that her new little pet has plans to kill her.
Oh, you think? Oh, you think that that's what this was? Yeah, I would also kill mom if I was her. But, like, let me keep the face. It's again, and she sort of, like, puts her hand underneath her chin. It looks so much prettier on me. Like, what is she gonna do about it?
Well,
It's not my fault.
if you want to see what else there might be in here.
Sure.
And you both can give me a little perception check. And also, what's Neovar and Velgen wearing right now?
Oh, what are we wearing? Uh,
The the outfit that is in the commission that I got is what I imagine he's got on now.
Right.
Same with Neovar as usual things. The jacket that she's wearing is Lady Sarissa's. But she's got on her, like, her embroidered drow dress that she definitely nicked off her older sister. And it doesn't fit, but she's trying.
All right. That's exactly what I figured would be the case. So with an 18, you would see something scribbled on the wall, and it just says, "Nice threads."
Huh. Does it look like my handwriting or does it look like, I don't know, who might have written such a thing? When was it written there?
Good question.
Now, if it is her, once again, humiliating defeat on her part. She couldn't even bother.
Uh,
And she's
Neovar
gonna
gonna
point
have.
it out to Veldrin.
Okay, Veldrin's looking at it. What should I roll to see if I can identify who wrote this?
Definitely written in Undercommon,
Uh-huh.
but to figure out who wrote it, that's a good question. Give me a history check, I guess.
Oh my god, we could also get Kozik. Kozik has stone cunning.
I
Come
don't think
on
that really
now.
helps.
No, it's written in stone wall. He couldn't tell us who it was written by. He could probably tell us when it was carved.
I don't know if I can be part of your delusion.
Fair.
So with the 23, that seems like it is written from, let's see, thinking back to it. Yeah, no, that's kind of like your mother's handwriting.
It's carved in the wall, or is it like written on the wall?
It's written,
It's
just
written
sort
on
of
the
like,
wall.
yeah, like scratched on kind of thing, not necessarily like etched in. You know, like you might like carve into a tree kind of thing. It's kind of like that. It's not like carved per se, but just there, visible.
Like scratched on, yeah.
Can Veldrin use his fancy new quill?
Yeah.
He'll write back, "Thanks?" question mark, and see if anything appears.
Let me double check the property of the quill.
I can write on any surface, and I determine if it is invisible or not.
Oh, yeah, nothing changes.
Okay.
Feature with the most touch it. Visible, okay.
Neovar, you've never seen
Hmm?
where we worship, have you?
No, I was never allowed in. And I
Let's
doubt
go
that
there.
you've ever seen my cage.
Well, let's go see
Lolth's
where we
worship.
worship. Yes.
All right. This is only going to be mildly horrifying, I have a feeling.
Before we leave, though, can I do a perception check for anything that stands out in the room, other than the writing on the wall?
I mean, you could try. You can confirm that there is nothing new or fascinating in this room.
Okay. Off to what would we call where Lolth is worshipped? Temple?
A blaspheme? I don't know.
So you head to the shrine room.
Shrine room. There we go. It's in there when we enter.
And as you enter, it is relatively empty, save for a cacophony of spider webs. Not so much that you can't see anything, but they are definitely everywhere, very lively and very, abundant. And it just seems like a big empty hallway, quote unquote hallway. More like a room, not really like. Imagine between the size of like a wide hallway or a small room, kind of like that relative size, big enough to have a statue, of the
Mhm.
Spider Queen in it. In all of her glory, in all of her terrifying and potent revelry, and yet at the same time, all of her arrogance, all of her indignity, all of her cruelty, all fashioned into a singular carving, the perfect depiction of a goddess who has earned the title of, well, the reason the drow went extinct.
Right.
Uh,
And all the other furnishings, like the tapestries and the candelabras and the chalices and chairs and carpets are all gone, I imagine.
Yeah, it seems pretty cleared out. All of that seems to have been overtaken by very thick spider webs.
you know, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be kind of cooler. There's
It
not
was
even
kind of
any
cooler.
blood.
There was plenty of blood in here before.
Yeah, but it's empty right now. Like, shrines to the devourer. You can never get the smell away. It stinks. This is just creepy. It looks like, cobwebs.
I mean, the rest of the town has been what
Abandoned.
looks like abandoned, and then here is abandoned, and
Hmm. You know what could be really funny? I know that you're speculating that this is your room, obviously. What if it is not actually your room? And what if it is actually her room? She is investigating a town that she's never had the chance to see. Hmm?
perhaps, but no one noticed her here before.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I obviously went to a Okay, I'll clarify this. I went to a location that I had never seen before and have a conversation with a dead child. It was quite disturbing, actually. Therefore, like, obviously, it can reproduce things, right? It's just me going off of sort of strange gut feelings, one might say.
Well, I've done 3 rooms. The first one
Mhm.
was inside the house. The
Yes.
second one, the Astral Sea.
I'll pan the camera over
Mhm.
in a
And
sec.
then this third one was my town, our town.
Mhm. You can claim it if you'd like. I don't think it wants me anymore. Um, disregarding that, the places in the Astral Sea, were they places that you'd seen before?
No.
But there's my point. Who's to say that that wasn't a real person? It could be. It could be. That would be very funny. And if it is, this is her investigating a place that she's never known. That might be why it's empty.
Could be. It could also be some kind of omen. That's
Something
what
for
the
you.
first room felt like.
Uh-huh. But Mother was there.
She was. And in this one, apparently,
Uh-huh.
she is dead.
Oh, if only.
And at that potential omen, what's everybody outside the room doing? Kozik, Zed, Eldrin and Neovar have been in this room for a good bit. They have not come back out. And I will just say Sari's off to the side, still gathering herself.
Opal's here too.
Oh
I
yeah, let
guess
me
we
get
could
Opal
figure out
on the
what Opal
map
was
actually.
doing.
Opal on the
Yeah, I
map.
know. I don't see her token. I'm assuming that we can't see where they are because this is like we're seeing where they entered this town, I guess.
Yep.
And having never been there, this is almost kind of not as vast as the Astral Sea, but kind of a similar situation where it's like, yeah, been gone for a really long time, but I don't know my way around there. It's a good chance that if we go looking for them that we get lost. Um hmm,
So what's Kozik and Opal doing? Being AFK. Or Opal's not aware that they're muted.
Well, are we going to have to cancel this illusion, or shall we just wait longer?
I'm not sure.
Walk inside. It will not hurt you. Smiley face.
Do I hear a certain whispering amongst the ancient stones?
It's me, the Lady of Temptation.
um.
Oh,
Hmm.
I realized I didn't
So,
switch the
and
scene
yeah,
over.
sorry.
Sorry.
Remind me. So, if
Sorry.
the door is open,
Did
can
switch
we
over.
see what's
There we
going
go.
on in there?
It is a massive town.
Yeah, you
Like,
see
that
the
is what-
entire town.
I mean, nothing really
Okay.
there is an
moved,
empty
so
drow city.
you're good.
It's not just a blank space for me.
They've moved 5
It
feet
is a
as far
blank
as the
space
map,
for
so
everyone.
nothing really changed.
This is the theater of the mind.
Kozik, have we haven't had two of these doors open at the same time, have we?
No, I don't think so.
I tell you what, Opal, you want to come with me, and Kozik, if you want to keep watch up here,
All right.
let's go back down to the floor beneath us, and we'll holler up and let you know when we open it, and just see if anything changes.
Okay, it can't hurt. And I kind of crouch down beside the doorway.
I guess we could say I'm not sure if Opal's AFK, but we could say that we're moseying down the stairs and. I guess, but this is room 9, so we'd be going back to 8 for the record, I guess, technically.
Where's Gavin?
Room 8 being the Astral Sea room when Veldrin opened it.
Yep.
Right.
So if
But
you
do
go
we
back
even
down
know
to
if
8,
it's the same
it is
scenario?
the scene remains as you left it.
So it opens a door and it just looks the exact same.
Empty
Zed, like with
room
the door.
because you dispelled the magic in that one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Shit. Zed's gonna holler up to Kozik. Hey mate, I think we broke this one. I'm gonna go back down to the other one.
Okay, I hear you.
Go back down to 7.
7. I think that was the
The Marn room.
mushroom biome one.
No, that was Marn. Or yeah, Marn's room.
I thought Marn was
I think
6.
6 was Marn, yeah.
Yeah, 7, I think, was Niavara's with the little girl.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So there is still a vibrant mushroom biome there. Was it mushroom? No. Hold on, let me check. No, it wasn't mushroom. So it was like a forest, but the plants were just very vibrant and colorful.
Yes. Oh no, you're going in there. Uh-oh.
He's opened the door, and I at this point we're in like we're probably I don't know how far exactly. We were 2 floors away from each other, but if there is some sort of central channel that this stairway is wrapping around, Zed will kind of poke his head out and holler up to Kozik, "Hey, mate, any changes?"
I guess I don't see it. No, not that I see. Ahoy.
Nothing has changed. As it left.
I guess Zed will probably stand there and kind of ponder for a couple moments, and then uh, he'll probably close this door and end up heading back to where Kozik is. I hate stairs. Nothing.
No change.
It was all same down there as well. So, any idea of why or what purpose this tower has, or why these rooms are like this? I can't really put it all together.
Yeah, me neither. It's some sort of, at first at least, I saw it as some sort of, I don't know, some sort of psychological mirror, a sort of reflective edifice. I don't know. But now it seems to want to be telling us things about ourselves, but can we trust any of it? What's the source?
Right. Is this just inherently magical, or is this someone's doing?
Right. Is the source the tower itself? Or is there some sort of intelligence, a mind, evil or nay, that's directing it?
Right. There have been things that have been getting in our minds before, and it's typically been nefarious.
I resent
So
that, yes.
it's not going to surprise me if this has anything to do with that, but I I'm straining to draw a direct connection between all the rooms outside of them just having to do with us.
That one of us goes in the room, is shown some sort of thing about our from our deep mind, perhaps, and then the other person goes in the other room.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, Opal's still not
Hi,
opened the
no, I
door.
am here.
So
Sorry.
no worries. We could get the next one, but should we all just get together again, or
Probably
Should
getting
we?
everybody together again is a good idea.
well, we know. So realistically, if I'm imagining this correct, based on the last room, that was as vast as the astral sea. It was the same size room as all the other ones have been, and when you dispelled it, Veldrin just ended up standing right in the center of it. So if I, again, thought process here is correct, they should just be standing right there, and he's going to point in the room, just kind of in the general where the center would be if we didn't see this illusion. Now, with that being said, I'm not really sure if they're in any danger. they're just seeing some sort of like illusionary vision. So I don't know. Do we all walk in there and try and find them and risk maybe getting stuck? We've also not had any one of these doors close while anyone's been inside. Actually, I closed my door. I didn't
Neomar
get
also
stuck in
closed
there.
hers.
Well, maybe if we three venture inside, if things become too bizarre in there, I can attempt to just cancel the illusion. But it would always be an attempt. It's not guaranteed.
Hmm. The safest potential option is maybe Zed and I go in, and if, let's say, in a certain amount of time, we aren't able to return, Kozik, you dispel the illusion. Or we could all just go in and hopefully you're able to dispel it from the inside, of course.
Well,
As
I
you
think
mentioned.
I think your plan has merit. I mean, it doesn't seem like we're in any danger out here in the corridor, out here on the stairway. So, sure, I guess I could just stay out here, and if we turn over an hourglass or something, then I should be able to give it a try to pull everybody out.
Then
This
Zed.
is gonna be. Oh yeah, I agree. This would be an odd question, maybe, and there might not even be an answer to it. Is there any sort of weird effect that might happen if you cast an illusion inside of an illusion?
Ah, yes, the fabled double illusion.
Let me see. I'll roll a die on that. Maybe I know.
I mean, if it's an illusion built on your own perception of things, wouldn't the illusion know that you're casting an illusion?
But the thing is, the room wasn't opened by Kozik, so it's not tailored to his psyche.
That's true. But what if it adapts to new people entering?
They haven't.
Then
Yes,
I
Zed?
guess it's fine.
I guess I did go in the strange void space room tied to a hempen rope, and yeah, it was just as Veldrin had described it. Well, I rolled a 20 for Arcana, and do I know about what the effect of casting an illusion within an illusion might be?
Typically, you would know. Pretty much, I mean, you're just casting it. It doesn't have the same effect as putting a bag of holding in a bag of holding. It's just you're creating an illusion inside of an illusion. Like they don't necessarily overwrite each other. And they don't exactly like it's not like trying to put two beach balls in the exact same space. They're not physicalized objects. So yeah, you can have illusions inside illusions all you want.
Zed's gonna try something then with minor illusion. It said you can do a sound or an image. He's gonna try to. I'm trying to think of what sound. He's gonna just from outside of the door, maybe just about like 10 feet into the room. He's gonna cast a sound to see if Veldrin and Niavara can maybe hear it. Because it would technically only be the sound, if it's cast in that room, isn't part of the illusion. So the sound should technically only be that many feet away from them, if I'm thinking of this right. They're in a room that's only 20 by 30, I think it was.
So you
So
present this
Zed's
plan
gonna
to
attempt
Kozik?
this. Well, if Kozik mentioned, because when Zed asked this question, if Kozik mentioned that explanation, then yeah, he would probably say, well, what if I make a sound just right inside and see if they can hear it and get attracted to it and they'd come back.
So Kozik, with your Arcana of 20, you would know if an illusion has the ability to basically alter your perception, then it's entirely possible that it might not be heard if the illusion, depending, it's going to be a case scenario, but if you're in an illusion that is, say, a mile away, and you cast a spell that can only be heard from 10 feet away, something that's already altering your perception of reality, in a sense, can modify or adapt, in a sense, to that. So, like, it would just be treating it as he's casting a spell, he's making a sound 100 feet away, whereas in the illusion, you're, 100 feet away from somebody else, so they probably wouldn't hear it, just based on that Arcana.
Right. Otherwise, I mean, we could wave our hand in there, but they wouldn't see our hand in front of their
Yeah.
face.
Altered perceptions.
Well, that pair is pretty tough, but they might need rescuing. It's hard to say.
Shall we go in and see Zedrin?
Yeah, we might as well. I don't really know if I. Well, yeah, I get. I'm not sure if I know what we're gonna find if we're gonna like it.
Oh, it might be terrifying. But I don't think it would be great if he left Niavara and Veldrin to die.
Yeah, that's probably true.
How long do you think we should wait before Kozik dispels it?
I have no idea because I've never been here. It's not like I even know where we're supposed to go and how long it would take to get there. We have to look around this entire town.
Well, they couldn't have gotten too far if any of the
Aye,
rules of our reality apply there.
but they also knew where they were going.
Or think more like city than town.
Yeah.
Big city. The big hub where they came from.
If only you guys could track people with survival.
That is very true.
Yeah, we could.
If only.
Do you have survival?
No.
Oh wait, I do.
Yeah.
Let's hop in, shall we, Zed? Kozik, give us like an hour.
A
See
standard
you soon.
galactic hour? Okay.
Turn over his hourglass.
Okay, I'll be waiting, and I'm sure everything will turn out just fine.
I also didn't know this until recently. An hourglass is an actual item in D&D.
Yep.
Oh. I mean, there are a lot of miscellaneous items in D&D. It's kind of funny.
All right, so Zed would be, given that Opal's typically our tracker and has this is another good thing too, is with photographic memory, we will be able to get back here even if we don't find them. Because we'll just retrace our steps and Opal will know exactly where we went. Typically. That's like most of the time it works.
And pray that Darth Vader has not altered the deal on your way out.
Right.
Everything
Oh,
changes.
that's horrifying.
But for any checks, I guess, that like survival checks and stuff, Zed would be attempting to assist.
So y'all's going in then?
Yep. Zedrin and Opal Ball.
Little one sneezes. All right.
Little do we know, every time that little one sneezes, it's like a spell. Somewhere in the world, somebody dies.
Or somebody's being born.
Or that. Hey, it could be both.
Which would make that spell truly nefarious. Anyway. So you two step in, and you are greeted by the cold, dark emptiness of a dimly lit city. No life. Not even cave bats. There's no like rodents. It is just dead. It is Ghost City. Not even Ghost Town. It is, imagine like the day after a zombie apocalypse. The buildings are still fresh. There's just nobody around. There's no bodies. It's just quiet, just an unsteady stillness.
Why does it look like the day after tomorrow was yesterday? Sorry.
I was gonna say it's like I Am Legend. So I maybe look around for like any signs of tracks or
Yeah, here, let
I
me
don't
get
know.
on that. Survival. 23.
So you're pretty sure you can pick up the you could pick up their trail. If not,
Looks
like maybe a piece of hair on the ground, or a piece of like cloth, or whatever they might be leaving in their trail in some extremely minute and very small detail.
Alright, I think I got a trail. Shall we get going?
Zed said BRB following Opal.
Oh, yay.
All right, it's all Opal now.
It's all on Opal. Yeah, we're following the trail. Also, I'm gonna roll perception just to. Is it fair to say I roll perception to keep an ear out, just in case anything changes in this very kind of dead and eerie city?
Okay, you can give a perception.
Don't fail me now. Fuck. It failed me.
Did it though? All right. So as the two of you make your way in, trying to find your compatriots, Kozik waiting anxiously outside with Sorry probably quietly staring in and just watching, sort of kind of camera in background. Kozik in foreground and Sorry in background as blur. Neovar and Veldrin, what are y'all doing?
I guess, is there anything that we would like to do here? Like, I don't think that we're gonna learn anything else here. Unless we want to go, like, trash mom's room, I guess.
If it's not trashed already.
Actually, that would be a great case point to see whether or not she was here gathering intel about us. Since no
Wait,
one's
did
here.
Opal find
No, they've
us?
not found us. We were just. He returned the. I thought
Yes.
that he like flashed the camera back to us.
Okay. So Neovara was wanting to find if the sister was tracking us.
Well, no,
Or
maybe like we check and go see like if, and this is a hypothesis, a game theory, if you will. We go check out if she was here, maybe she was here gathering evidence on us and the family. So we check out, mother's room, your room.
we already checked those places.
Did we?
Well,
I don't
I did.
remember.
My
Was there
room was the
anything?
first place I went to.
Did we look at mom's?
That's how we got down into the basement.
So that she was there.
Mhm.
Any other big secrets that we wanted to find out, or are we done here?
We could go
Or
to
was
where
there
you
something that
were.
we were missing? Ah! You really want to go see that?
Well, if your theory of she was here to find out something about us, she would be more interested in you than me.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Would she know? I guess she would. If that was her, she seemed pretty bitter, didn't she? Ah,
She's
fine.
interesting.
She's killed an 11-year-old girl.
Honestly, I find her pathetic.
I mean, I've done worse than that, but like, also, girl.
No, she's pathetic and desperate.
Real. All right, fine. And she sort of like, scratches her neck, and she's like, all right, all right, all right. Let me reorient myself, and she'll take off back through the house, leading down into the dark area. Not much similar to like going through Mother's room, but instead of going through Mother's room, it's like, little back closet entrance into another part of the house. And she's like, see? Boom. Look at here. Where I grew up. It's a cell.
Uh,
Awkward.
I'm assuming I can get down there without any issues, I should say.
Yep.
and Veldrin's gonna do a perception looking for any possible traces of the sister or like loose stones or things in the walls because the last time that led them to the little secret basement room.
We can always try.
So, perception.
Mm-hmm. So, without any benefit of the doubt, and especially since you have lived there, and you know the ins and outs of the place, you don't find anything else that stands out.
Hmm. Maybe she didn't know where this room was.
She might not have, or
She's an
this was
illusion, and we're all
some kind of stupid cosmic joke to introduce me to her.
true. Us to her, I guess. I'm still your favorite little sister, yeah?
As far as I'm concerned, you're the only little sister.
Those are the best words I like to hear. Well, I think we head out before Dad's probably getting worried. And plus, we get to now play a prank on them. They don't know what happened in here. We can say anything and it'll be true. From your lack of response, I sense that you're not as, keen on the idea. I'll come up with all of them then.
Of saying whatever we want.
Well, any idea, like anything to say, like to mess with them, Like, oh my god, it was so horrible. There was a massacre on the lower levels. Or, and hear me out here, you can go out on your own. And when they ask, like, oh, but where did Niavara go? You can say, what? She was never in here. or vice versa. Or I can pretend to be myself, but also clearly be impersonating someone who is very desperate for mother's attention.
You could also give them a really good scare and go out as mother because
Oh my god! That's even better, oh my god. And she, straightens herself out. She stretches so that she's as tall as mother. She gives herself the age lines and she, puts her hair up in the right way. And she's like, well, now, see, this is, I think, a beautiful decision.
and what's our
Although,
story?
no, I think that I go out first. I scare the living shit out of them as I walk out
Mhm,
of the door.
mhm.
And I'll probably be grievously injured before the bit gets old.
Yes, but what are you going to tell them? What did you
I'll
do
t-
to us?
oh, what did I do? Oh, I simply took back what was mine. Don't they understand? The daft fools.
Where should I
See?
hide?
About 40 feet back. That way, if they do in fact start attacking me, you can help. And she, like, she even, I imagine she goes back, she fishes out a pair of mother's heels and like one of her robes, and she's like, see, look at this. Obviously, it's all gonna fall away as soon as I leave this place, but I think I would make an amazing matron.
The funniest thing would be if it didn't fall away when you left this place.
Oh my god. All right. All right. Okay. Let me. And she'll start making her way back out to the door, like head held high, prim, composed, on a mission.
Joke's on you. This disguise doesn't come off.
Um, One thing I do want Veldrin to do before they leave, and I want him to go back to the altar room. And I imagine he's never looked the Lolth statue in the face. Uh, he's gonna look it in the face and flip it off and then like leave really quickly.
Was that good? Did it satisfy you?
I think it's more funny because I have spent so long following her and I guess it's the start of a little defiance against something that has bothered me for so long.
It is good to break our old chains. Sometimes the past and the things that we have been told that we are things that hold us down, hold us back.
It is really weird hearing that in Mother's voice coming out of her face, but it's not her.
What would be the most disturbing thing for Mother to say?
I love you.
Veldrin. I was going to say the same thing. Veldrin, my son. Thank you for entrusting me with your truth. I love you and I always will, my darling boy. All right, now let's go scare the shit out of these guys.
Were you going to say something worse?
Huh?
Were you going to say something worse?
What do you
You
mean?
hesitated.
No. Veltrin, my son, my darling boy, my special little baby. I think that green is a good color on you. All right. All right, I'm getting my laughs out. Let's keep walking. Like I said, 40 feet behind me, more or less, just in case they start launching fireballs at me.
Veldrin keeps that distance.
For the sake of it,
Yep.
instead of making you guys do a perception check, since Opal was already tracking, you would eventually cross paths. I also don't think Opal was here for the mother scene.
Nope.
Nope,
But,
but Zed was.
And for sake of it, it just looks like a older, scarier looking Neovara with no laugh lines at all. Cold. What are you not doing here? Don't you know that this world is not yours?
So we run into you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That what's happening? Okay. Zed's gonna just kind of scratch his head. Opal, why? This hasn't happened in any of the other rooms. Why'd you grow? He's
So-
saying, why'd you grow to Neovara? Zed thinks this is just
Cool.
Neovara, and this is all an illusion.
He also saw Mother in the first Veldrin room.
And this looks like Mother.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Mother
that is
just
true.
looks like
Okay.
Neovara older.
Thank you for giving me that context. Okay, so Zed would be scratching his head. You're not supposed to be here.
I know Neovara too well. Neovara? And Opal is going to walk up to Mother. Or what she thinks might be an illusionary mother. You've let me in on too many bits, Neovara.
Like, so
I'll
should we do
roll
an
insight.
check?
I'll roll insight against
Yeah.
that because that's funny.
Opal knows exactly what's up.
Zed's like, no. Zed's like, no, this is real.
See, that's the thing though too. Is so Zed knows that these rooms are fake.
Mhm.
So
But
he already thinks it's an illusion, but he's just confused. He's like, why are you here and not the other two?
Don't you know? This is my realm. This is my world.
Is Mother
And they've
holding
finally
anything?
been returned to me.
Is Neovara holding anything?
I mean, she's wearing a big ol' like, think Evil Queen style cape from Snow White.
But she doesn't have any visible weapons.
No, it's underneath the big fuck off cape.
And I mean, this between 11 and 13 is still pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Opal's
Oh.
like, something smells wrong, but I don't know what.
So Zed is going to is it dim in here?
Dimly
At
lit.
least?
Yeah.
Okay. How far away is Mother?
You probably see her like within 30 feet. She keeps walking towards you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Opal's just going to walk up and fuck. Damn it, I wish that number was better.
What were you gonna do?
Frisk her.
No. What Opal is going to do is just simply go, make it look like you're gonna stab me. It'll be funny. Now the real question is, Zed, are you going to roll a perception check to see if you hear that absolutely horrible whisper? Though I think passive perception's a thing.
So Zed's already kind of thinking something weird is up. However, in the room that we dealt with the manacles were very much real.
Yes, those
still
were
has them.
Veldrins.
Does Zed know that
Oh.
though?
No,
No.
Zed doesn't know whose they were. So, and if you're within 30 feet, Zed is gonna basically teleport behind you
Mm-hmm.
and attempt to grapple you and put these manacles on.
You're under arrest.
All right. I guess let's have the opposed athletics.
So it's would it be athletics and then
Yep, it would be athletics.
okay.
All right, let's have these 2+0 people fight face to face.
Well, to not get grappled, you can usually do athletics or acrobatics. The initiating grapple has to be athletics, though.
All right, wait. If it's acrobatics, I can escape it. I'm going to try my best. Boom. Slip slide. You have no idea how she's that efficient underneath all those layers of cape and with high heels on.
And that crazy hairdo.
That crazy hairdo. She's like, feeble attempts, all.
That like teleports behind, like, ma'am, you're under arrest. Slap the cuffs on her, and she just slips out.
Why should I be under arrest in my own kingdom?
Oh, I just figured it'd help make it easier for the two of them to kill you when they get here.
As though I would let them. As though they would be able to. Why do you think they ran? The cowards, them both.
Pretty sure they saw where this led to and they walked right in. And I don't know if that constitutes as running.
You're no fun, both of you. I was hoping that one of you would stab me, Christ.
Ah.
When she shrinks down to her normal size. She's
Yeah,
like, drowning in this.
Yes, the regular friend thing to do. Basically asked to get stabbed.
Oh.
So how have you two been holding up in here?
Veldrin makes his way on over.
That hits.
He's gonna go in and, like, he's gonna jab you with the dagger, and at the very end he's just gonna, like, flip it around and just catch you with the hilt. Or the pommel, rather.
Ow.
I would've got you. Don't ask for it. He's gonna flip his dagger around and put it away.
Listen, let's just say that we were in a little bit of a pranky mood. We were denied a little bit of fun.
I'm seeing that the horrific trauma dimension has no effect on either of the two horrifically traumatized drow.
It's hard to do things worse than they've already been done.
I was far worse off in the other room, and there was nothing bad that happened there.
The last room my hand was bit off.
What the you know what? No.
I encountered a ghost of a dead girl.
we should get out of here because if we don't get out in not too long, Kozik's gonna make all this disappear.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it might be worth it for him just to do that anyway. Vel, do you want to tell them?
About what we saw in here?
Yeah.
I got to meet the new sister.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Sora.
Niavara's evil version?
Yes.
I
Evil
see.
is a little strong.
Yeah, I think she's more sad. Like, she's killed a child, but, like, you know...
Oh my god, you two. That is all. Okay, Niavara, you shush. That you clear. Neither of you are clearly a good judge of character.
When do we say... Okay. To be clear, it's not that I don't want... I'm not looking forward to kicking her ass, because I am. It's because she was so pathetic. Like,
She was,
oh...
Oh, you took everything from me. I want mother's favor.
I want mother's favor.
Weren't
Have it.
you? Weren't you exchanged as babies?
Yeah. But, like, if she... My whole thing. If
If
she
she wants
wants
mother's
mom,
favor, yeah, she
just
can
have
just
it.
walk. Yeah, she can just walk in and say, "I pledge myself to you," and mother will go, "That's great."
That's great. Good luck surviving 10 days down here in the dark.
Yeah,
He
but
won't.
if I've learned anything from Niavara, it's that I think from what I've learned about this other sister and you, Niavara, it's that you two are very similar. So I can't imagine she'd do anything less grandiose.
I actually don't want to ever meet my birth mother. That's why I hate the Feywild so much.
I never said you wanted to meet your birth mother. I'm simply saying you
But
both
that's
seem
what
to
I'm
go a
saying.
bit extra in certain areas.
But that's my whole point. We're nothing alike. If she is going on this whole quest to, like, earn mother's love or whatever, like, oh, this is what the deal was. Like, girl. Oh yeah, she also called me a master assassin, and that gave me, like, a huge ego boost. And called herself a bumbling fool, and it's like, if you're gonna own yourself that hard, like, what do you need me here for? Zedrin, any
Are you-
thoughts?
Yeah, possibly sarcasm.
How so?
Well, like when you walked up and you were looking like mother,
Mhm.
you were quite sure of yourself and saying, "This is my realm, you can't do anything," and all that.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
if
mom.
someone else had that sort of thought process to where they were untouchable, it'd be pretty easy for them to be like, "Oh, well, I know nothing, you know everything." It could have been mocking and maybe not like sincere.
Oh, that's true. Either way, she ran away from us when we were starting to kick her ass.
We didn't even kick her ass. We just made fun of her.
Yeah, we were
This
going
is
to tie her up with ropes.
this is all fake.
True, we thought about that. However,
True, but I did actually get hurt.
Think about it as practice.
In the other rooms, I didn't actually get hurt. This one, I did. That is different.
and she also melted
Zed
into the wall.
Zed's gonna look at Niavara and
Mhm.
look down at her daggers. Does she have blood on either one of her daggers?
Oh, I didn't stab them.
Zed's wondering because this is an illusion if you accidentally stabbed Vel and didn't realize it, and that's why Vel took damage.
That's funny. If I would know if I'd stabbed my brother. I would have done it intentionally.
There's also the first room I started carving into my arm. I'm fine. The second room, Uthagroth bit off my hand. I'm fine. This room, I get stabbed by the other sister, and it wasn't the knives that hurt.
It was in the head.
Hmm.
So then you didn't get stabbed.
But something did hurt me.
Oh
Right.
yeah. And um the wall said nice threads. It complimented us on our clothes. That's very strange for
Very
all the
strange.
rooms.
There's nothing that hasn't been strange about this whole place.
True.
True.
I think what we're
But
trying to figure out is what this room in particular. Are you suggesting that this is different in some way, shape, or form than all the other ones?
My
Because there's
theory
got to be some connection, right?
is
I
that it
think
was her room.
it could have been her room. It could also be because I have done 3 rooms, I'm pushing the magic in some way.
True. Opal, you've not done any rooms yet. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
If she
see.
doesn't want to do one, I'll take the
Personal
force.
personal
I-
reflection.
Yeah. And I want to see if this robe is going to come with me. If nothing else, I'm going to use it for arts and crafts.
So we're just wait. So, are trying to leave then?
Yeah, let's go. And she, hops, skips, and jumps. She's just like, yeah, it's really not that complicated of a city, you see.
And Opal, if you do not want to open the door, I will do another one.
Or we can force Zed to do another one. Yay!
All right. So heading out. Heading out.
Yep.
Yep.
You know how to make your way back and out as you know the path.
Does the robe come out the door?
It does not.
Damn it.
What about the heels?
They do
I'm not as
not.
pressed about the heels.
It would have been funny if the robe left, but the heels stayed.
It's a Cinderella shoe.
Very, very much like the servants in the other room when your encounter with, Mother. Their images just faded into like the corners of the room, like shadows just disappearing, and that's basically what any of the stuff you've gathered from these rooms does. Just like as you walk through the threshold, they just fade away.
Oh, you're back.
Hi, Kozak.
Oh,
Everything
good.
okay here?
It was almost an hour. Time flies.
Time does fly.
Well, I suppose we're all gonna pack up and leave the tower now, right?
Oh.
I don't know. I kind of want to try one.
Oh, of course. Gosh,
What? Don't you?
I've had my fill. Yeesh.
Wait, did Kozak do one?
Yes.
And I missed it?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Shameless
Everyone
plug.
seems to have
Well,
a-
I just so happen to have that VOD up on the YouTube.
And I have a
Right.
plug in my leg.
True believers.
All right, then I'll leave it up to popular vote. Who wants me to touch one of the? Who wants me to go into the self-reflection dimension?
Go into the room of hell.
How
That's
many
one.
doors might be left to go into?
I think we had put together that there were 11 doors, and the door at the top was when we entered through the window, the room that had Clarence in it. So there's one more door.
Well, I suppose we should find out what's inside. We are here in the Underdark, a strange and marvelous zone.
Opal's already walking towards the door.
Up the
Veldrin, you
stairs.
did say Veldrin, the way you were saying it didn't sound. It did sound like you wanted me to try one. Or
Yeah.
you didn't. You wanted me to try one, but you were also fine with
Lock
doing
that, so I don't-
another one.
Oopsie. There we
Because
go.
he's insane.
Exactly.
A glutton for punishment, eh?
Maybe, or maybe I am trying to figure things out.
He's a masochist. We've known this for years.
You do know a therapist only costs a couple of gold, yes?
I don't think that it'll fix him.
And do you think being
I
stuck
also
in
don't have a
hell?
couple of gold.
I mean, I think Kozak keeps all of our collective banks together. You might just need to ask him.
If you
I
want
may.
to send me to therapy on your dime, so be it.
Can't help people who don't want to be helped. Nope.
At this point in Veldrin's life, he's gonna make the therapist cry before it gets him help. Either way, you're stalling. Get in the room.
As per usual,
With a
a locked
push.
door.
Oh yeah. I still can't believe that we didn't get Kozak in on the prank. Ah, I could have kept up the appearance just a little bit longer. Damn it.
Would have been kind of funny.
I know, I could have had you all in chains. How funny would that be?
In change or chains?
Chains, like Mother would.
You're weird. Your idea of funny is sometimes it's really funny and sometimes it's kind of dark.
I thought the mother thing was funny.
That was funny. I tried to whisper for her to stab me.
Oh
That would have been
God,
funny.
that would have been so funny. Damn, we need to have better communication on this, guys.
We should have a secret hand signal.
Yeah, we do. It's called Thieves' Cant. If I'd said it though in front of Zed, he would have gotten it instantly. Either way. Thieves'
Into the
Cant.
door then. Alright. Ah, nice. Damn.
It is indeed unlocked.
Okay. It'll be fine. And opening the door and stepping in. Opal has no childhood trauma. Whatever could be the issue.
For the one person who never had a childhood.
Damn.
Or did she? So you open the door,
Mm-hmm.
and inside you are greeted with, let's see, so this one, yeah. So inside seems to be almost like two rooms split. Like it kind of seems like, imagine you walk into somebody's like nice warm living room, very cozy and inviting, and beyond that point it seems to go into some into like a stairway that leads down, but there's like a door there, kind of like imagine you're going into, like, say, like going into like a garage kind of thing, but you got to go downstairs. So there's a door that leads down, and this room is very familiar as you, quote unquote, grew up here.
Back home, huh? Yeah. Opal's gonna go downstairs. Or, actually, before she does that, she's going to tread the door.
So give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yay. That is an ability check, not a saving throw. 17.
All right. And you go to the door, which is unlocked.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Opening it. Peeking inside.
So you poke in your head inside, and unfortunately, it goes down about 10 feet, but then starts to curve. But you can see a little bit of light flickering from somewhere downstairs. Just, reflecting off the I'd probably say wooden wall.
So it's not entirely finished in here. Interesting. All right, closing the door and going down the stairs then.
Down the stairs, you descend, and you start to notice the change in the walls from wood to stone. The stairs become stone. And you come to a workshop, a very active workshop. And in this workshop appears to be your old man working away on some, just some random, seemingly random, like, I was seemingly random object, just something mechanical. You'd probably see, like a little tinkerer's table. There's gears and it's like screwdrivers and tools just strewn about there. He seems like he's trying to get something to, work. But he's hunched over the table. You have this walking up behind him perspective. So he's hunched over. You can hear the tinkering of little mechanical things being like metal tinking against metal. Like little sounds of a screwdriver like tightening something. Just really busy. And there's like a forge off to the side. There's like a bookshelf off to the other side. It's just as you remember it.
Busy working on something, Father?
Ah, yes, my boy.
My boy.
Oh, and he pokes his head up and turns around and Opal.
Hello.
I didn't expect to see you here.
What do you mean?
Well, that you've been gone for so long. What brings you home?
Oh, that gives Opal pause. Huh. I'm not sure how to answer that. Is this an illusion? Is this really an illusion?
He stops working on, the little, I don't know, let's say he's working like a little a clockwork beetle. He's just tinkering at it. You get the idea that that's the goal of whatever he's making.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts all his tools down and lifts up the little visor and the little artificer's like monocle, and he lifts it up and takes it off his head and places it on the table and stands up, and he dusts himself off. He's just covered in like oil and dirt and your typical like workshop kind of stuff. Maybe even some like some metal shavings here and there. And he dusts himself off and takes off his apron and hangs it off to the side on the wall. So, what have you been up to? It's been so long.
Huh. Well, whether this is an illusion or not, I guess it's best to practice this talk when I get back eventually. Anyways.
He's saying all this in character?
Yeah, she's mumbling it. She's very quietly saying it all to herself. But not to the point where he wouldn't be able to hear it. Well, I'm traveling with a party now. at least. Not just traveling alone anymore. Didn't seem. Definitely wasn't my best idea.
He walks up to you, puts like a hand on each shoulder, and kneels down a little bit, just to get a good look at you, and then puts like a hand on your cheek and does the like inspection. I see
I,
you've been busy, and kind of puts a finger on like maybe a crack here or there from one of the times that you've been critically hit.
one of like the three. It's nothing I haven't been able to handle myself. And to be fair, the party I'm with, as weird as some of them are, I think I could trust them with my life. If need be, if I lost my legs or something, I think I could direct them back home so you could put me back together again if need be.
My dear, you calling them weird. If only you knew the origins of these Saurians. And to answer your question, this is indeed an illusion. How astute of you.
I mean, I got the talk from everybody else. Now, are you an entity, or is it just the illusion magic working its wonders?
I'd imagine it would probably be the illusion magic working its wonders, as it often does. Illusions do be like that, as I like to tell people.
Damn. Was hoping to talk with my old man. Has been a minute. Should probably go say hi to him.
Technically, I am, in a sense.
I mean, I'm imagining you're my last recollection of him.
There is no response to that.
Now the real question, is any weird stuff going to happen? Are you going to like fill me up with ground eating worms or gem eating worms or whatever?
That would be interesting. That's all it says.
Okay, so it's not inherently hostile. And that would explain why the room upstairs wasn't finished. I wonder how far this illusion goes. Obo wants to go check the front door.
So you go to the front door of the house.
Yep.
So you maybe came in the, I don't know, side door or something.
I
you
mean,
go to check.
I'm imagining with the way you described it, Cubed, if you don't mind me interjecting.
Yeah.
Opal was upstairs a moment ago. So I'm imagining she just would have ended up outside of where outside of her room in the main house. So her just walking downstairs would be.
So I was just kind of. So as far as like how I was picturing it was, like if you ever played Phasmo, how there's the ground floor, but you still have to go downstairs to get to like the garage. Kind of like that little bit of like underground, but not really underground layer,
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's how I imagined it anyway.
So what do I see out of this infinite front door?
Out of the infinite front door, you see a sea of stars and a faint light that seems to flicker just a little bit brighter than everything else. And then it gets closer and brighter and larger
Oh. Opal's going to wait for one more moment.
and closer and larger and brighter.
You're just an illusion of my father, but I'll let you weigh in on this. Should I let it get closer?
Yeah, probably. But what do I
Opal
do? I'm
and
just an illusion.
You know what? Everybody else had something to face. Might as well.
Wonderful.
Bring it on. Oh. Menacing.
So this light, as it gets closer and larger, starts to dim. And it actually starts to take shape. And the shape it takes is that of a vaguely humanoid crystalline creature. It has, it's bipedal. It's got two arms and two legs, a rough shape of a head, but no like facial features.
Now the important question, DM, what color is the quote unquote flesh of this creature?
Red.
You're not me, are you? What?
No.
And I'm just going to roll a quick history check because this is something that is popping in her memories. She's seen in a couple of different scenarios something when she is being reflected in something that shows a bright light. She's going to roll a history check to see if the light that she had just seen that formed into this creature reminds her or is what she saw in those previous encounters. That is a 10. So what are you?
Guardian from the gates of.
And why are you deciding to appear before me?
It is what the future. A message.
Huh. Interesting. I'm assuming, or I'll assume the party I'm currently in will eventually come to these gates of madness if we continue on this path.
The things on the other side of the gate. Things that are breaking free.
That will remind Opal of a couple of things. Or, well, maybe one thing. Those tentacle things.
One of
That
many. Like, you don't even say the word, you just think about it. And it responds as if you said something to it.
I see. And how long before the unmaddened whole, or the entirety of it is free. If there's even a guaranteed answer to that.
As of this moment, there's a long pause. Time.
Maybe if I had raised myself or grown up alone, time would have been meaningless to me. But I know for at least humans, time can be oh so quick, fragile, moves far too quickly for how much every human wants to do in their life. That's annoying.
The flesh ages. Crystal not.
I will be here long after most of the party I've come to spend time with, hell, enjoy the company of, are gone. I know that. But I'm assuming by how often those things are deciding to pop up that it won't be too long before that thing makes its full appearance.
That thing. There is more than one.
I'd ask for a specific number, but just the fact that there's more than one, that should be more than worrying enough for my party.
As it should for all of Crete.
I mean, we saw Hydra turn into goo. Oh gosh, God. We saw Hydra turn into goo, and then one of those things. Sorry. Huh.
Flesh
Maybe I should
repurposed. Flesh in its basic form and impurity. Manipulatable. Reshapable.
like iron being turned into a weapon in that way. Anything else you want to tell me? Or do I need to keep asking questions?
What information do you seek?
How's Dad doing?
Human. It just says
Dead human or alive human in that way?
there is just a long pause.
Ah, dang. All right, one more personal question before I leave, and tell me, party, what I saw here. How about the mistress he left with a kid? I'm so curious. He never talks about him or about her.
Unconcerning. Considering threat that
I see. Yeah, I guess I'll have to look into it on my own. Alrighty. Thanks for the talk. And Opal, with a bit of hesitation, is going to walk back upstairs. Hopefully leave the way she entered.
All right. And essentially as you're starting to turn away, it seems like it holds up this not really cut, but just like reddish crystal, and it holds it in front of his face as you start to turn. and just in the corner of your eye, you see a vague shape of what looks like a gate and a crack forming down the side of it.
Would it be fair to say that Opal like pauses saying that?
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah. Opal will turn back to that. She's caught off guard.
And it's not like a basic bitch like stone castle gate. This is like grandiose, huge silver, like almost looks akin to something like if you were to put in your mind's eye like a heaven's gate, just massive, grandiose, and now imperfect.
Oh gods. Huh. So it's looking dire then? Well, I guess when you said all of creation, I should have put that together myself. I'm an artificer, after all. Ugh. But what are we going to do against it? What could we do to stop that?
To seek the creator.
Opal will like shake her head for a moment. Oh god, I wish I had one of the more divine inclined people with me. Which one? All of them? Any of them? I'll keep that in mind. But what if he can't fix it?
He will. After all, we were created with. Will fulfill our purpose until there are none left. And ancient enemies on the other side of the gate. He would, if he could.
We, like the Azarians? Like my people.
All creatures.
I see. Alright. I'm not gonna turn away, and there won't be any, like, new revelations for me, will there?
Do you turn away?
Opal. As Opal says that, and I'm assuming the guy doesn't respond, she'll start to slowly turn away.
No, he doesn't.
R-
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Actually,
going back
no,
out
just
the
kidding. Yeah, no.
way. Going back out the way I came. With a bit more of a hurried step to it.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
I mean,
Ah.
it's Opal.
How,
I mean,
what
it's
were you up to,
Opal.
boy? And then he shakes his head. Oh. Opal. What were you up to outside?
Having a deep philosophical talk with an entity I could barely comprehend, Father.
Well,
And
if you can't comprehend it, I definitely can't comprehend it on account of me being an illusion.
we running upstairs.
Pitter patter, pitter
I'll
patter.
come talk to you. I'll talk to the real you in a while. This seems important. And I mean, it's not really a pitter patter. Opal is 400 pounds and made out of solid gemstone.
But the house was also built around that knowledge.
Right. Very fair. The one place Opal can sneak at advantage.
Hustle, hustle, hustle,
Alright.
hustle, hustle.
Yep. Going up the door, I came through. Hopefully not being met by horrifying revelations from beyond.
Nope, none of that. But you're right. You make it back with no problem.
Everybody's before me.
Yep. Token.
Opal's going to like take a moment. She doesn't need to breathe, but she takes a breath. All right, guys. So you're not. It might have been an illusion, but it might not have. Opal's going to relay everything she learned.
On account
the
of me
thing-
being an illusion.
And I think the thing that's gonna bust Opal's ass is Veldrin's like, I already knew a lot of that.
Oh, you fucking asshole! And she does say that.
He didn't know about the gate, but he knew that there were others.
And here I come out of my lovely illusion. Dad's bedroom wasn't finished, so it wasn't perfect. And the really pretty front lawn was also not done. So, regardless, you're telling me you knew some of that, and you didn't tell me that there would be illusions from beyond? Or not even illusions, just portents?
I think
Information.
we said that,
Yeah, I went to the Cosmic Sea.
and I
I
just
saw-
spoke with the dead girl. We said
The tentacle creature, by the way, Opal.
Yeah.
It has a name. It's called Uthagaroth.
Uthagaroth.
Yes.
And you knew about there being more than one of that.
Yes, and Uthagaroth is part of a thing called the Eternal Feast.
Sounds gross.
But the interesting thing is, I can feel this is not the first time it's happened. It has happened on the material realm as well. I can feel what it feels, and when I was in the room, I could make it feel what I wanted it to feel.
Interesting. Huh.
It looks something like a gibbering mouther as well, the whole of it.
Gross. Huh. So everybody ready to leave? After
There
that.
is the door at the top of the stairs, which none of us have technically opened. We went in through a window.
yeah, it's Clarence's room. We can try it.
I feel
It
like
might
we're
not
all
be
going.
Clarence's room if we open from this side.
Are we going to erase Clarence?
Was it actually Clarence?
I have no idea.
But I do want to go and speak with him. I have a question.
Well, yeah, let's march up to the last door.
Who's gonna have the final honor?
Well, Veldrin was the one who went through the window, so he's gonna try the door.
Yeah, I think I had enough of illusionary stuff for today.
Oh, boo.
So you're saying you're going to quote unquote Clarence's room? The name that you've
Yeah.
aptly given it?
Yes.
Well, that one's not locked.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna open it. Room's still the same.
Yep, there's a little flumping around, ending to mushrooms.
The last time we talked with you, I believe you had said that you didn't know who this belonged to. You hadn't seen anyone around. Is that correct?
Not until you guys showed up.
Not until we showed up. How long ago did you show up? Give or take.
It starts trying to count all its tentacles. At least this many.
Okay. When you got here, were all of the mushrooms here?
I was born here.
You were born here. Was there anyone else here when you were born here?
Uh-uh.
Yes?
Just me.
No, there's no one. Okay. Did it look the same when you were born here?
I keep it looking the same. And it just goes around and scoots mushrooms around and, plucks some and replants them in other spots. Maybe even goes outside the tower a little bit and like pulls in a mushroom and adds it.
All right, that is all I needed. Thank you. And Veldra's gonna come back out of the room and be like, got nothing new.
Should we ask him about that, like, dragonborn figurine?
We could. Veldrin goes back in. I assume Neovara handed it to him, or she's coming along.
It's called Let's Go Get Traumatized Together in the room.
Okay.
Do you know what this is? Veldrin says, pointing to the figurine.
Fancy rock. And it just kind of
Neovara?
flies over to it and like pokes it with the tendril.
Well, Neovara, what do you think?
Yeah, going inside sounds like fun.
Oh no, they're inside. Veldrin asked Clarence if it, or at least the Flumph, if it knew what the Dragonborn statue was, and it just said fancy rock.
Indeed it is a fancy rock.
I don't think there's much more information we'll be able to gather while we're here. But we haven't explored the outside yet.
Let's see if there's anything we can find, and then we may still have time to revert to our gaseous form and travel.
Opal
I-
here would be turned into fart clouds. Yes,
Yep.
she was. We did it because she was sinking.
I guess Zed's gonna. So this is the last room, but there was still the hatch at the top, right?
Yep.
This is the room at the top.
That's what I'm saying. But there was still a hatch at the top that we couldn't
Yes.
open, which is why we went through the window.
Yep. There's still a hatch there.
So yeah, Zed would, if there's a way up to it,
Oh.
Zed would climb up to the hatch and open it and get out up onto the roof.
There is not so much a way up there as you would probably see very vague and extremely scattered remains of what used to be potentially a ladder that has long
How
since, you know, become not inoperable.
how tall is the ceiling?
So let's see. It was about so from basically like where you're standing to the hatch,
Mm-hmm.
it would be like 10 feet. As far as mechanics would go, about 10 feet. Realistically, it's probably closer to like 7, but mechanically 10,
Yeah.
round up.
Zed, you could get on my shoulders and I could boost you up.
I Yeah, I could get that open and then we could all fly out here. Or we could just go through the window, but I am a bit curious.
It could also operate on the same rules as the other doors did.
That's why I'm curious.
So Veldrin boosts Zed up to get that hatch.
That hatch seems pretty latched. Can't
Is there
seem
a
to get it
way
open,
Okay.
but there's also no like there's not like a keyhole or anything that you could finagle a lock with either. It's just held fast.
Does anyone have an axe that we could try to hack it open?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Well, Kosik passed it along.
Okay, let's see. I've got this battle axe.
Does he hand it up to Zed?
Or I thought I had. Well, actually, I looked down and my Warhammer's head needs replacing. It's broken. Hmm. Oh, but here's this dwarven made war pick. And I hand that over.
All right,
Zed
I
was
guess
offered a war pick to get this hatch open.
Zed'll try and take a swing with it.
This would be
Or maybe if there's like a seam, maybe try and like wedge it somehow.
Try
yeah.
and pop it
There's
open.
there's definitely like
Yeah.
it's pretty blatantly like this is a hatch, so it's gonna have seams. It's just there's no locking
So
mechanism.
would it be athletics or would I just do
Yep, it's athletics.
okay? I got a 12.
+1, so I'll give it a 13. So you kind of get the pick the sharp end in and try and wedge it, but the you know it's maybe it seems more like the hatch opens like you're trying to get, how do I describe it? So your leverage is from below for a hatch that you have to push up. So like, when you climb up, it's a hatch that like opens up. And right now you have your leverage is from below, so it's like you're basically trying to like lift, like wedge this thing from like the wrong angle. Like if you're outside on top, it might be a bit easier because that's just the direction it opens. which
Yeah.
kind of makes sense because opening a hatch, if you're under it and it opens, it kind of gets in the way of a ladder.
Right, but it's stuck.
But what's everybody else doing? It is Veldrin, you can just feel Zed struggling, dropping things. Cozy just handed off a pick. Iavara's
Zed, instead of trying to try and ram it.
Why was the changeling up on my sheet? My apologies.
Zed gonna
Let's
try
see.
and ram it.
Yeah, I could try and I could just keep rolling athletics until I get a good enough roll, I guess.
The door gets harder and harder to open as you continuously roll.
make it roll again. Sometimes you don't even need to make the DC higher.
Does anybody have an inspiration? Oh wait, Veldrin does.
Nice.
Veldrin's gonna be like, give it another go, Zed. Third time's the charm.
Try, try and try and jump this time with me, and it'll be like extra force. Whoa! Oh, nope, that didn't work.
No, that did not.
No.
Let's see. So you did a little jump there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Zed, give me an acrobatics check.
Oh no.
Great.
Because you're trying to wedge this thing. You basically have like both hands trying to get this thing open, and then Veldrin jumps, and you're about 350 feet up in the circular like walkway. And with a 12, you stumble. You basically like fall off of Veldrin's shoulders. It's like you were trying to get leverage, and it just happened to be like at the just that perfect wrong, perfect example of oopsie doodle timing, and you basically just fall off of Veldrin's shoulders and catch yourself on a rickety old railing that as you're leaning against it, you can see like little bits of dust kind of fall off the side and trickle down into the darkness, and maybe like a very tiny like stone or something. You can just see it just fade into the darkness, well knowing that that could have been you.
I guess he probably gonna hand over Kozik's war pick. I guess there's a reason that you carry this around and not me.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. I've never swung this thing in anger.
It's not tainted by the dark side.
Yet.
Well, I say we go down and we check out the outside, and if there's nothing, then we return to the gaseous form and continue.
Yeah, there may be something more to find if we hunt around.
Been in here for
Who knows? We might find whoever is making this whole thing happen. Because I doubt it is our little flump.
the little flump sticks his head out the door. You called me?
Not exactly.
Aw. And then it slowly turns around and floats back in the room.
Why do you feel you have to keep this place the same as it was?
Because it's pretty.
No one told you to do it?
I know, it's pretty.
Okay.
And he
Well,
just
you keep
scoops some
making this
mushrooms.
place.
Scoop,
Scoop
scoop,
some
scoop.
mushrooms. Well,
Yep.
you keep making this place pretty, and we will be on our way.
Will do. And it uses the tentacle to do like a salute.
And Veldrin will start heading down the stairs.
Yep, me too.
Not a gaseous form, just walking down, right?
Yeah, because the idea is to explore outside. If there's nothing, then gaseous forms.
Is there a banister to slide down?
There's not, unfortunately.
It's just stone stairs and then like a 200-foot fall.
340. No, wait, 10 down.
All
So
right, well, I cling pretty
320.
close. I cling pretty close to the wall then as I kind of and stick my hand out as I sort of make my way down the stairs.
Opal Niavara. Same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I was trying to think if I could, fulfill his dream there of sliding down the stairs, but I have nothing.
Nah, simply shove him down the stairs.
Yeah, maybe you can cast an ice sheet in front of Kozik or something.
Oh, you got them special
Oh.
shoes. Just gotta click them.
I would
Opal was
say
thinking.
use little one and like grab onto his little feet and like glide down, but then Nintendo might come after me, so
Wait, I have a better idea. Hey, does anybody have a shield?
Veldrin does.
Hey, Veldrin, let Kozik surf down the stairs with your shield.
God.
Surely he won't trip and break his whole neck.
It'll be fine.
It'll
We
be
have Cleric
fine.
on hand.
Think about it.
Probably-
It'll be really cool.
You could probably click
Kozik, do
those
you want
heels
to give it
together.
a try?
You could probably click those heels together. What was it, 19 times, and then just float your way down.
Yeah, do I have time for that? Yeah, I suppose it is sort of a grand and heroic gesture. I might as well give it a try.
Well-
Veldrin hands over the shield.
Like, fuck it, I'll take the shield if he's floating down.
well, you would know since you've interacted with these shoes enough. They don't give you featherfall. There's a difference
Oh.
between featherfall and levitate.
I've got that covered. I have a beautiful magic ring on that should help me.
Oh, he knows.
Probably.
Veldrin hands over the shield.
All right, I kind of look at it and okay, it's not too fancy. I wouldn't want to mar the paint job or anything on it. And I
It's a
set it
wooden
down
shield.
on the stone steps there that are probably a little slick naturally. Whoa. And then yeah, what is that? Some sort of I kind of push off and see where gravity takes me.
So let's see. I think something this would be an acrobatics, as you're not trying to push downstairs, you're just trying to hold on and not
Yes.
flip. Because the idea is to, what's it, toboggan down the stairs and not do what most people do, going down snow hills and flip it.
Yeah, so I position myself on it, and I'd say in the my coolest dwarven accent, "Check you later, dudes."
So I would say you can toboggan down for, let's say, half the tower. And if you want to continue, it's going to be another acrobatics.
Oh, it's got to be. I don't want to give up halfway. Not as good.
Okay. So after, I mean, to be fair, you've tobogganed down a good 150, 60. I can't do math, but at least 160 feet, which is a
Sure.
lot of tobogganing. And it gets to a point where, and you're hitting stairs. This is not a smooth ride down a snow hill or a snowbank or down, a mud path. This is stair after stair after. Imagine being on this metal shield going down 160 feet worth of stairs in a circle. Like your hands start getting numb. Like them stalwart dwarven buns start getting numb. Like just the constant impact for
Yep.
X amount of minutes. Probably not minutes. X amount of time. And so with a 12, you don't flip it. You almost flip it, but that's where it causes you to stop.
All right. Well, I kind of skid off of the shield onto my bum, and I'm happy not to have fallen off the steps or totally went bum over tea kettle or whatever onto the bottom of the stairs. And I kind of stand up and kind of put my hand over my eyes like a visor and look back up the stairs and say, "What are you waiting for?" Come on, Mr. Thatcher, you could do it.
I'm just gonna start walking down.
Walking down.
I can't. As funny as it would be to like try and force my body into the shape of a toboggan, I don't want to think about the logistics and how many bruises I would have afterward.
Do you guys really want the 1,000 piece opal puzzle to put back together?
I mean, what if it was 1001?
What if
Neopara,
it
I'm
was
sure you would. No, go
10,000?
ahead. Ugh. Opal's just shaking her head. I'm not letting myself get broken to pieces.
Yeah.
Well, I wait for them down at the bottom then.
All right. And even with people with amazing dark vision, you had slid beyond their range of like vision. So
True.
when you when you actually came to stop, you couldn't see anybody from there.
How far can you fall without taking fall damage?
I believe it's after the first 10 feet is when fall damage starts coming into play, and then there is a terminal velocity.
Oh. How far do you think would you allow someone to fall and still reasonably catch themselves? Let's say it was like on a branch.
That entirely depends on the roll.
If they tried to catch themselves, let's say it's a really far drop and they were trying to like, let's say it's a big old tree and they're almost kind of like jumping down branch to branch, but not, like there's drops in between.
I guess the question is, how far are you trying to jump down?
So, I kind of wanted to do something silly because Kozik just slid down this whole thing with a shield. And I haven't got an opportunity to use it yet. But I also don't want to have to like die in the process, so I might just
Don't
run
worry,
down with
it's
everyone
only
else.
20d6 damage at terminal velocity.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Do it.
Right. Well, so
I
Zed's
mean-
gonna be kind of standing with everyone, and everyone's just gonna be walking down, probably maybe a few like 10 feet or so in front of him, and he's looking down, and he just sees Kozik disappear, spiraling down this staircase. And he's gonna kind of reach in his coat back on his back. That's there's like this little, almost makeshift like leather holder. And he's gonna pull out this, and then let's see. I don't think it says dimensions at all.
And while you're figuring that out, just to give you an idea, you fall at a rate of 500 feet per round.
Okay. This could be really sketchy.
And you fly at
So-
600 feet per round. Just to give you an idea how fast how fast you
Right.
could hit the floor.
Yeah, 500 feet in 6 seconds.
We'd
That's
have
like our
a
gaseous
said
form
meat
speed.
bag.
Yeah.
I think we would have a Zed red stain on the floor.
So yeah, so Zed's gonna pull this thing out, and it doesn't give it dimensions. So I'm gonna say it's just like, give or take like a couple feet long, just nondescript sort of rod. And he'll twirl it around a little bit, almost like a baton, and then he's just gonna jump off of this ledge, probably fall past the group that's walking down the stairs, and then he's gonna activate the rod, and kind of like what I'm picturing is almost like descending monkey bars. Like he's gonna activate it and have like this swinging motion of him catching himself, and on the upswing deactivate it and fall a bit more, and kind of do this like descending sort of swinging motion with the immovable rod,
All right, so you're
activating
basically
it and deactivating it.
trying to do gymnastics in a 350-foot tall tower stairwell. Is
Yep.
that okay? Just confirming.
And if it gets sketchy, my plan was to swing over to the stairs that are like nearby. Like if it's not going well, that would be my attempt to get out of this tumultuous situation that I put myself in.
Well, let's start off with so this is swinging. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be strength based because you're trying to hold on.
Oh, you wouldn't give me acrobatics?
I mean, how you describe it, I'm envisioning you trying to use strength to hold on to this bar, and then it drop down. Because it kind of sounds like at no point you're letting go of this bar.
Yes, but it's like, but what I was picturing was, in my head, it was more going to be momentum based. Like I'm using the inertia of me falling to swing, so I'm not like catching myself in a dead drop over and over and over. But yeah, I'll do either one.
I mean, I'll allow it. Acrobatics.
All right.
Just gotta
I mean, I could
describe
still
it.
get like a nat one, so.
All right, so with the 19, you get about halfway down.
I feel like at that point I'm probably getting pretty fatigued.
Yeah.
And so I would attempt to, if possible, swing over to nearby staircase, as I'm assuming I just disappear from everyone else's view up above.
All right, that would be another acrobatics then.
All right.
To grab onto like a staircase or maneuver yourself in a way.
Not smack into a wall and bounce off.
Which a 15 is
Ooh.
fine.
He would land and probably adrenaline dump right now. He's just uh very slowly kind of going down the stairs. Kind of like Kozik was initially describing, kind of like back against the wall, like palms flat against it. Just trying to stay as far away from the center as possible. Like, hey, that was
So-
probably a bad idea.
So you went from I'm gonna do
Yeah,
gymnastics
100%.
in a skyscraper's stairwell to it. I'm just gonna hug the wall now.
Yeah. That was no good.
I think both of them might be missing Cha a little bit for all the excitable energy they have going on there.
Or maybe Cha was a excitement vampire.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Joking, of course.
Enjoy.
It jumped out through them. Neovar is unbothered by the
Antics.
large staircase down. This is where she belongs. Down there in the dark.
So everybody else is going down as normal people would.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the way Kozik and I went down were normal for our group.
Yes.
All right. So, Kozik, you'd probably let's see. So you sled down. Okay. So you would get down first, and as the one on the bottom, like I said, there's the big double doors at the base of the tower. I think you guys left them open. But
Yeah.
either way,
I don't think we closed them.
yeah, they'd still be in whatever state you had last left them at. So open, close, however you might want to retcon your character doing it. But last I recall, they were open. So yeah, you're just greeted with the veritable mushroom forest that awaits you on the other side of these doors, and maybe a little bit inside, like maybe some of the flora has grown into the wall and on the wall on the inside, but not it's not like overgrowth or anything. But you would also notice Kozik Deepshaft, a dwarf,
Yes.
a pair of little talons on your shoulder.
It's a cat.
Nope, it's a little one. It
Oh.
looks like he just flew down and landed on your shoulder.
Well, hello there.
Hey. And he's just looking up at the stairs like expectantly.
Good, yeah, and I'm standing there with the shield ready to give back to Veldrin in a sort of triumphant pose.
And
Even
still
though I'm waiting and I can't quite see them yet.
and still a little numb probably.
Uh-huh.
And eventually Zed comes down next. Which doesn't take too long. Yeah. And Zed,
Zed
you'd see little
in-
one sitting on Kozik's shoulder.
I
in
feel
like
somewhat
his
gratified
posture,
by that.
back against the wall, just kind of like skulking down the stairs almost. He's gonna get there and be like, oh, Neavara tried to push me off the stairs, mate.
Ah, you're all right though.
Yeah, I saved it quite miraculously.
Good. You know, something about that doesn't surprise me. That she would try to push you, I mean.
You know, she's been playing tricks all day. She pretended to be her mother when Opal and I were in there trying to find her.
Hmm. There is something of the prankster coming out in her. The effects of the Underdark, maybe? We'll have to see. I'll keep an
Right.
eye on her.
Right.
Oh my god, just throwing her under the bus for something she didn't even do.
Hozik, like, analyzing who he needs to sacrifice.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't
oh
want
yeah,
to
I'll
do
keep
any
an eye
of
on
them.
her.
This mental bracket going on right now.
But if there's one, maybe.
And I mean, eventually everybody makes their way down if you guys sort of wait. There's
Is
nothing.
the flora and everything that's outside that's you were saying is kind of growing in? Does that resemble the room that quote unquote Clarence was in?
I don't know. Give me a nature check.
Hmm.
Brr. Looks like a
Definitely
bunch of
something.
mushrooms. I mean, it makes sense as a seafaring individual. You're probably used to barnacles and seaweed, not so much mushrooms and bioluminescent mushrooms and fungi.
Being from the or having been to the Underdark one time, very briefly, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's Underdark."
I may have
Does
been.
the rest of the group get down?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that about, Zedrin? Like, what got into you? Like, did like Chaw possess you?
Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to get down faster. And then I decided it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. I didn't like it.
Well, yeah. Like,
I got down pretty quick.
you have wings, little
Yeah,
guy.
mate. That was impressive.
He
That's gonna
stands
flick little
triumphant.
one a gold coin.
Ow.
We walked up the stairs, and you chose that walking down was too hard?
Okay, first of all, I
We
went
may have
up and down
floated.
more than anyone, and I wasn't really wanting to do it again.
Also, like, again, only some judgment. Why that method?
Well, I was gonna go to the forum up there, and then pretty much probably show up at the bottom by the time you all got here. But then I thought, well, I've never really used this before, and he's gonna bring out the immovable rod and like twirl it around, and then he's gonna hit the button and let go of it, and it's just gonna float in the air, exactly where he left it. Alright, try and grab it.
No, thank you.
Okay, he's gonna click the button and
Okay.
put it away.
And little one quickly flies over and lands on it.
Right, yeah. So you'd see little one just like is perched on it, and it's just not moving. And I'm assuming that it's like maybe 5 or so feet in the air. Um, and so he's gonna grab onto it, and he's gonna hang from it, like lift up his legs to where uh he's hanging, and he's gonna just put all his weight on it, kind of swing. Oh, you see, it doesn't move.
Zed's definitely showing off. Showing you how swole he is now. Watching him get his gains.
I was giving it enough time to see if anyone was gonna hit the button, but Zed would stand back up. And he'd like, all right, anyway, enough of that.
So yeah, in front of you is the double doors that lead outside of the tower and into the mushroom forest that you've traveled in a good bit.
Well, this has been a enlightening and terrifying experience. I have no idea what
Truthfully.
wizard put this here. Did we learn anything new about this place?
No, I
don't-
dare say we have more questions than answers, just as before.
Damn. I would really much like, for once, like to be able to, just have like a simple answer. Is that so hard?
Yes.
Yes. It's my job to be the difficult one. Or else. Something like that, I suppose.
So shall we exit the tower? Or have we done that?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I try not to stomp on too many mushrooms, but it seems like they're kind of growing everywhere like an unmown lawn.
Oh, yeah, Kuzik, do you still have that little dragon statue?
Of course, of course. I hold it up.
Awesome. I think we hold on to that because I think it'll be fun. I don't know what its importance is yet.
All right.
So,
I kind of tuck it away.
as you step outside, you are greeted once again by the familiar mushroom forest and also the cliffside on, the cliffs. You're not at the cliffside, but the cliffside that this tower is on, the like quite literally
Edge of.
practically hanging on the edge of. And probably some speckled bits here and there of like some collapsed stonework that doesn't seem like it was a part of this specific tower, because you'd have seen the holes in it, like a lot more holes in it. But it's pretty blatantly obvious that there's a cliffside, because Mushroom Forest goes forward and then just stops. And since you flew around the area, you know that there's that cliff there and probably some aspect of the tower or some. Let's see, I'm trying to remember why. Basically, you'd know that this part of the tower is the part that stayed on the top part of the cliff, and there's probably something else at the bottom of it directly below.
Hmm. Meaning that there's another half to this building and it fell to the world below. I mean, we could
Possibly.
fly down. Or we could keep going. Anyone else want to try and figure out what the hell the buildings is?
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, since we
It's
put
the
all this
only
effort
thing
into
around.
opening all those doors.
It's the only thing around that might give us any other answer to where we are.
Well, eventually in the Underdark, all things will lead towards something.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like we look at that, or we just pick another direction and head off.
Exactly, just keep walking through the mushrooms. I, for one, am totally down to see if, like, okay, here's my moment for us, a theorization. No one in the Underdark builds on the side of a cliff, like, without something that's, strong enough to withstand the general morasses of time. But something happened here that led to this building splitting in half and falling down it. Either this building wasn't originally here, at this spot, meaning it like teleported here, or it's so old that the ground itself has shifted enough that it broke. And either way, I think it's going to be fascinating to find out what's below. So, shall we? And she starts, focusing on the change into gaseous form so that she can just descend.
Yay, she picked up on all the hints for multiple sessions. Yay.
I also will
Yay.
attempt to dematerialize.
Team Fart Cloud.
Yeah. Veldrin's gonna become a fart.
Fart.
Fart. Alright, wait a second, guys. I'm shifting into fart mode.
The Brap Brigade.
There's nothing flatulent about this act.
All right. So everybody goes into very fast flying ability.
And we sink into that abyss.
All right. And you're basically just following, going to like the tower side and just going straight down. So
Yes.
you do so. And you definitely notice as you're heading straight down, just following the sheer cliffside, that there definitely seemed like there was some. It looked like beneath the floor, like the base floor of the tower that you were at, that some way or somehow there was a way in, because you see, now that you're close enough and actually like moving up to inspect it, as you're actually close to it, the quote unquote nature has reclaimed it for the most part, but in a way that has overgrown along the cliffside. So like you wouldn't have seen it in passing by or like actively looking for it or that kind of thing. Like but the fact that you're basically scaling down the cliffside. So if you were to try and climb down, you'd have probably unfortunately discovered this. But there appear to be like carved out areas, like there would have been rooms here, except for the fact that the tower literally broke. So you would see like rooms that have been overgrown with mushrooms, covered in dirt. Small creatures probably using this as a hovel because this is a nice little cubby hole. So maybe as you're flying down, let's see. I don't think bats would be disturbed by. Well, I would say it's enough of a disturbance that like there's some cave bats that fly out of like some of these rooms. But like I said, these rooms have been just overgrown, covered, lived in by all sorts of fauna, flora taking over, just all sorts of stuff. And you get to the base of the cliffside, not hill, and you do see this remnants of a tower just collapsed, broken, shattered in a lot of parts. But interestingly enough, the core essence of it, like the cylindrical part, except for maybe in a couple parts here and there, actually looks like it is mostly intact. It looks chipped, it looks damaged, it has some holes in it, but it didn't hit the ground and shatter like a glass cup, right? However this ended up here, the impact was not enough to completely force this thing into a bajillion pieces. So there is definitely a tower down here. And as you would imagine, at the base of it, there's definitely a way in as, it fell. And even probably like some of the side too, as there's, like I said, there's holes here and there. But yeah, the tower that led up, you get the feeling that the tower also went down a good bit, is just literally ripped in half in some parts. The fart cloud investigation. So The question for y'all is gonna be: are you guys wanting to check out some of these like half rooms, or do you want to check out the tower at the base? That's the question.
So you say there's another tower to investigate as well as other ruins.
Yes.
So
Right?
Yeah.
so the remnants of this tower that you were been in, there's an underground portion basically, but it looks like it might
Oh.
have been connected to whatever fell. So instead of it being like, you know, two ice cream cones falling apart, it's like half of this ice cream cone just got ripped out of the wall and fell. So there was probably more underground, but that has been since exposed to the elements and is such overgrown, inhabited by critters. And then the ruins is the other tower that has impacted the ground, or at least embedded it on the
Right.
ground below.
But not shattered, but almost just intact down there.
I would assume that we would check on like half empty or like half ripped away rooms and things on the way down. Like if there
Yeah.
was if there was something that had detached and fallen and is now beneath us, any remnants of those rooms as we're going down, I would assume since we're all in this gaseous form, we would just at least fly into and um take a quick look.
Yeah. That
Okay,
sounds logical to
investigation.
me.
Because then, if my thought is, I guess, with that, not knowing what happened here, seeing some of the things in these rooms, or seeing what these rooms might have been for,
For
and
all
then
this.
seeing the other tower beneath us, or the rest of it beneath us, we could be able to connect. Oh, this is the other half of that room that we saw, instead of finding half of a room down at the bottom and wondering what else might have been there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah.
Then tower. Way at the bottom.
And messing with the
There you go.
All right, so I'm picturing that we're like flying out, or no, we were at the ground level here,
Mhm.
and then we're looking over the cliff, and so we can see this tower for sure. But then as we start to go down, as we start to descend, I'm assuming that we're going to see all these different levels, and probably at least Zed would, and I'm assuming someone else would potentially poke into there just to see what they were.
All
Yeah.
right. So that's going to take some investigation, which we can begin doing next time.
Eh,
Nice.
All right.
We made it through one tower. Well, half of one.
Made it through one 350-foot tower.
and now we get to find the other half of it that is for some reason separated from it. Or else some ancient drow wizard got very creative.
It's all
There
the
we go.
rage in the Underdark.
Yeah, you
Crumbling
have one tower
towers?
and then you set it up separately. Half and half split model. It's like those sliding doors. Like,
Hmm.
oh yes.
Oh, coughing. Water. Oh,
Well, that was fun. I still have no idea where we are.
Right.
The phaseriness of the Underdark is getting to Zedrun's head. I'm saying
put
that
it
word
there.
wrong. I have no idea how to say it. The word for Underdark magic. Cube, do you
Underdark
know
magic.
it? It starts like an F.
Dark magic.
Okay.
Yar, well, we are adventuring in any event, so that's good.
Let's see. The Underdark is permeated with magical energy called phasers. Phasers?
Exactly. I have no
Phasers.
like phaseriness or something like that.
Physries. Fizziness magic.
Yeah, the fizz.
Okay.
Underdark fizz. Now here's the question: does the fart interact with the fizz?
I mean, when you drink fizzy water, don't you get farty?
Mm-hmm. The gaseous forms just have a slight tinge to them.
This one. All right. Well, with that, thank you guys for being here. Wrap it up here. We've ended this session. Thanks for playing. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you for, watching, lurking. So for those of you on the Yubles Tubles, we do this every Tuesday at 7:40 is the plan. We started late tonight, but day after holiday. Late. Um. So yeah, and I also did get the VODs uploaded. I totally spaced on it yesterday. It did not feel like a Monday. Yeah, for those and also for those on the YouTube, like I said, we do this every Tuesday at 7:40 Pacific, preferably, and we do it over on Twitch, Twitch TV/Cube222. I usually import the VODs over to YouTube because the VODs do not stay forever on the Twitch. So it's the best way I can keep this content going for you. And, record keeping kind of stuff. So tomorrow we'll be back at it at 5:30 Pacific. That's going to be the other campaign that I run. And yeah. That's about it. Okay, yeah. So I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you, and hopefully catch you again soon. But until soon arrives, we shall depart. And remember, always keep that adventurer's guile, because you never know when you find yes. I'm sure I had something thoughtful, insightful there, but I lost it. Um, find loot. Let's go with loot. Or wisdom or knowledge. All good things. But with that, I'm gonna dip on out of here, and I'll catch you again soon. Stay cool. You don't need me to tell you that because you already are. All right. Peace.